Good morning and happy Monday. I missed last Monday, so I didn't do a book talk, but I've got some books for you today. I try to do book talks from books we have in the library, so in case anything you're interested in actually exists in our library. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes I do books that aren't in the library, but today I have a handful that are library books. If you watched any Amazon Prime TV over the summer or last fall, you might recognize this guy, Jack Ryan. This is The Hunt for Red October. It's one of the many books that Tom Clancy has written about this character, Jack Ryan. If you like heavy duty action, adventures, spies, espionage, military, danger, he's your guy. I mean, look at that. Stuff's blown up behind him. Tom Clancy. So we keep him in the mystery because it fits the genre the best. It's a lot of book. Like it's no joke book, but it's not so hard to read that you couldn't just read it and enjoy it. You don't have to memorize every subplot line. I really have enjoyed Tom Clancy over the years. I haven't read it in a while. I am watching the show and I am loving the show, but the books are really good too. Specifically, The Hunt for Red October is about a submarine. There's also a movie by the same title, same character. A Russian submarine, the submarine captain wants to defect, but you can imagine how challenging that is. And so the entire book is how they're going to make that happen without starting a war. It's really good. So, wee bit like Fluffier, kind of an epic love story, is a fairly typical fluffy romance. So you have someone you're interested in, you have your best bud, sometimes those turn into the same person and you don't know what to do about it. It's really cute, it's really light and fluffy, good stuff. It'll be in romance, obviously. Alright, so now this one was just kind of weird. It's called The Underground Railroad. You probably know about the Underground Railroad, right? Like, this is not a foreign concept. But what's so weird about this one is that this historical fiction novel assumes there was actually a railroad underground. And it actually transported runaway slaves to freedom. That was the weird part of the concept. The horrible part of the concept is all the things that actual slaves who were trying to escape had to live through. So they go into detail about some of those things. Like, there are some very specifically pointed historical events in this that are fictionalized, of course. It's a fiction book. But it is really good. It's not ready yet, but it will be in the catalog eventually. Same with this one, Gabrielle Union. She is a actress. You may recognize her from a lot of different things. This is a biography, so it's a story of her life. It's a story about the life she had when she was first starting out, about her marriage and her stepchildren. It was very eye-opening. I mean, she's funny. You know, it's obvious. We're gonna need more wine with this. It's an entertaining book, but there's also some tragic bits, some parts that really spoke to me in it. She marries a basketball player, and he has two teenage children, and they're going out one evening to go play basketball at their buddy's house down the street, and she's terrified for them to be on the street at night. It's a very real fear, and she asks her husband, what if you train them to say if they get stopped? How do they respond? How do they come home alive? So it was really it was something that I had never had to deal with, so it was eye-opening for me. But it was really good, and she is actually a very good writer. It's an easy read. Stamped. This is Racism, Antiracism, and You. So this is by Jason Reynolds, but this gentleman wrote the original book that's called Stamped from the Beginning. It's like this thick, and it's very dense and heavy, and it's written like a history book. This is Jason Reynolds' YA adaptation. This is written like a conversation with Jason Reynolds. So if you've ever read anything by him, you'll recognize his very conversational tone. It's about the history of racism in America and in Europe and how things started and where we got where we are and what we can do to actively not be racist. And so I highly recommend it. Like, I really think this is a great book. It's not a hard, heavy read. I mean, obviously parts of them are heavy, but the writing, the vocabulary, the sentence structure, those things are very accessible. But if you're interested in reading it, it will be ready, looks like very, very soon. So if you guys read anything interesting that you'd like for us to have in our library to share with other people, or you just want to tell us about some movie we should read it, come talk to us. Let us know. Thanks, guys.